Severe weather can destroy a home in seconds. There's no time to think, only time to act. Have a kit so you're ready for any emergency. Develop a plan for what you and your family will do before disaster strikes, and stay informed during severe weather any way you can. It can be the difference between losing your possessions and losing your life. Just ask the owners of this house. Visit ready.gov for ways to prepare your family for emergencies.
Welcome to This Week with Sheriff Dave Phalen, a weekly program on LSN television and also a number of the radio affiliates throughout Fairfield County. I do appreciate you, the viewers and listeners, joining us each and every week. Always have a great time with our varied guests from within the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office, and many times we have community leaders come in and kind of say firsthand what's going on in law enforcement within our community. Back this week by popular demand, 2 weeks in a row, Sgt Jared Collins. Good to see you, Sarge.
Thanks for having me.
Veteran
back,
of the
sir.
Sheriff's Office. Now, how long have you been with the Sheriff's Office?
20 altogether.
20 altogether.
Yes, sir.
Biggest change in the last 20 years?
The job as a whole.
The job as a whole.
Always evolving.
Okay.
Always changing. Population, county's gotten bigger, more people. I would guess some of the crime trends.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the crime trends have definitely been a little crazy.
Well, and even in the 12 years that I've been sheriff, finishing up 12 years at the end of this year, our jail population has gone from 100 to 300, triple. So that's amazing when you think about it.
It really is. It really is. I just look at, the first part of my career, the type of crimes we handled, the type of drugs we were finding on the street. It's like night and day.
And the other thing that I've kind of been trying to dispel a little bit is the fact that in some ways, because we've done such a good job of letting people know what the problem is going on, especially when you look at opiates and heroin in our county, when you look at the strategies that we've used, whether it's the tortie cause to raise money, whether the things that are going on over at the recovery center, our scrap team, our major crimes unit. So we've gotten a lot of publicity about that. Our opiate task force would be another one. And so many times I've heard Lancaster, Fairfield County is the mega center of drug trafficking in the state of Ohio. It's the worst place in the United States. But the reality is we're no different than Newark or Zanesville or all these other communities that have all been affected by this. So by any guess, Lancaster, Fairfield County is still a safe and secure community. I mean, it's a place you don't really feel threatened. You can go to the park. I know you live over near there. You can go out to jog. You can go to the mall, go to a grocery store, and you don't really feel like, somebody's going to rob me or something like that.
Right, without a doubt, it is still just an absolutely safe community. I wouldn't call it a bedroom community anymore, but I definitely would definitely classify it as a safe place to raise family.
Yeah, and it's a great place, good schools, and a lot of real positives. So sometimes I think we get off on the, it's kind of elevated beyond where it should be. Not that we don't have a problem, we absolutely do. But compared to other communities, we're doing pretty good. The other thing that I was really happy to see was on this youth behavioral survey that they did. They interviewed over 3,000 kids anonymously throughout almost every school in the district in the county, and they found a very small percent, like less than 2% of kids have been involved in the opiates, the heroin, all the more of the hard drugs and things. So it's, again, I think sometimes there's the thought all kids are using drugs, all kids are doing this. Well, the reality is it's a small percentage of our kids that are involved in this.
Oh, exactly. And I think you hit it right on the head when you said the whole awareness thing. I think, awareness is one of the most important things. Aware that there is a problem. Although it's not huge, being aware that there is a problem. And then from there, talking about treatment, enforcement, supply disruption. And I think that by using that multi-pronged attack that, local law enforcement and, everybody else that's involved in all this stuff is doing, is making positive inroads on this. You can only think. Just cooperation between agencies has been unbelievable.
I think you always look at the thing, prevention, schools, getting the word out, enforcement, doing our dead level best to put these people, bring drugs into our community in the penitentiary. Third is treatment, and the recovery center does a good job like that. And all the other fingers that go out, different things like what Loretta Phalen does with Grace Haven Place, where there's a home. Now if girls get out of jail, they don't have anywhere to go, they can go to Grace Haven. That's a show in and of itself. And so there's a lot of different components, as you said so correctly, to kind of address the problem.
Exactly.
Now, training. You're our main training guy. Do the firearms, do the all kind of things. And for our viewers and listeners, what are some of the types of training that our deputies go to during the course of a year?
Well, we try to farm out and get deputies out to training away from the office for specialty things. But kind of our big thing is doing the train-the-trainer type stuff. So we can send one deputy out to become an instructor, bring them back, and train the entire office. And just kind of get the most out of our training dollar. That training is one of those things that there's not always unlimited budget for. So we kind of try to do what we can within work hours, within shift hours, so we're not killing the overtime budget that's needed for work and enforcement level stuff. So we kind of try to do what we can. Right now we're utilizing a lot of internet-based stuff through the Attorney General's office and the Ohio Law Enforcement Gateway. We've got, I think, the vast majority of our officers currently enrolled in those type of courses.
Now, there are some classes that are mandated every year that we have to comply with, right?
Yes, sir.
And what would they be?
Well, of course, firearms qualification. On top of that firearms qualification, we have built in a training component where officers have to shoot different exercises.
Beyond the state qualifications? Beyond
the state qualifications. So our standards far exceed the state standards. We also do a block of use of force refresher, taser, and defensive tactics, all kind of rolled into one course that we've made generally as a requirement within the sheriff's office.
Okay, and then I would think that first aid's part of that occasionally.
Right. We're currently working on putting a first aid, AED, and CPR updater in place.
Right. And some of the training you've done over the years has been pretty realistic, right? I know you had used the old Big Bear out on Main Street. Tell us a little bit about that. That was some great training.
FX Simunition is essentially a high-tech paintball.
Okay.
A really powerful high-tech paintball that we're able to design building search, room clearing courses, and we've done traffic stop safety courses where if officers make mistakes, they get painted by the bad guy. It's generally not what you would consider a big paintball fight.
Right.
It's more perfectly outlined by lesson plan that we want our officers getting the best officer survival training that they possibly can. And this is the, cutting edge of that technology to be able to do this. It is the closest thing to being in a real gunfight that there is.
And out of Big Bear, we staged that like they were going into a burglary of a business, right?
Exactly.
And you had the bad guys hid in there with
Oh, yeah.
guns and the whole thing.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the vast majority of our officers loved the training. And, we were able to do several scenarios within one training event, and we're able to break in between scenarios. And just, I had some of my SWAT officers in there, and, we're providing the advanced level training on good room clearing and officer safety skills.
Going back to firearms,
Yes, sir.
what do the deputies have to be able to do to be current? What are some of the activities? I know one of the things they've changed over the years. When I started many years ago, we would be shooting at long distance shots, doing a lot of different things. But now most of that stuff's pretty close in, isn't it?
It is, and traveling around like I have, a lot of other states haven't closed that gap yet. Ohio generally has. Most police-involved shootings occur within 21 feet.
Okay.
And when I say most, I mean over 95%.
So it's not I'm shooting a half a block down the street. It's all we're right close
Exactly.
in a room just beside a car.
A higher percentage of those occur within 3 to 5 feet. So it's usually, when it happens, it's up close, it's fast, and it's ugly. So for years and years and years, we taught officers to shoot from 25 yards, at those distances, 75 to 110 feet.
Yeah.
They have to have excellent marksmanship skills. But what we found is it wasn't generally helping them survive gunfights. They could punch holes in a target from 75 feet away, but when it came time to hitting a target inside 5 feet while possibly fending off an attack, they just didn't have those skills.
And a lot of this is instinct, isn't it? In other words, if something happens, you're not mentally kind of going through the whole thing. It's just gun out, boom, boom, boom.
Exactly. We stress a lot of instinctual point shooting now. We're just really working with our people to try to get them out of the holster fast and manipulate their weapon. That is got to be, with the new stuff out there, the most important stuff there is good, clean reloading skills, getting the weapon out, getting on target fast and taking care of what you need to.
So a lot to it, a lot involved with our training. Anything in the future going to be different as far as training that you're looking at, or?
We're always trying to develop some stuff. We've got some what we're calling elective firearms courses we're going to start offering, where these are where officers on their own time can come out and go through these courses. We provide the lesson plan, the ammunition, and our people can come out and advance their training on their own time if they wish. And we've gotten, we haven't enacted anything yet, but we've got 3 lesson plans ready, and we've got all kinds of interest. Our guys really are kind of have a thirst for this type of stuff and really want to get into it.
Oh, very good. With us this afternoon, Sgt Jared Collins with the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office, signed to the Canal Winchester area, village there, and doing all that stuff and all those kind of good things in the village.
Yes, sir.
So you going to come back and see us soon?
Anytime.
Okay, it's good to see you.
Thanks, sir.
Well, we're coming toward the end of the program. Do appreciate you, the viewers and listeners, that join us each and every week. If you have a question of myself or any question about the Sheriff's Office, you have some ideas or maybe a concern, you can feel free to call me. My office number is 740-652-7252. That's 740-652-7252. Or go on our website, www.sheriff.fairfield.oh.us, and drop us a line. We get a lot of these emails each and every day. We get a lot of calls, but always glad to hear from you, the citizens of this great county of Fairfield. It's an honor and a pleasure and privilege to serve you as we kind of wind up. We're going toward my 12th year here and the sergeant's 20th year and counting. So we do appreciate all the support we get from our community. Yeah, not only with the Lancaster Police Department, but our citizens really have been very good about supporting what we try to do within our law enforcement community, in particular the Sheriff's Office. Until next week, same time, same place. If you're out there driving, make sure you're buckled up. God bless, and we'll see you right here next week.
Nice. No. Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.